I sit on the deck of my newly purchased beach house in Delaware, phone in hand, heart pounding as I prepare to post the photo. Behind me, the ocean glitters in the late afternoon sunday. Today is my 32nd birthday. The 5th year in a row my parents forgot while planning my sister's elaborate engagement party for next month. My finger hovers over the post button. The caption reads, "Birthday present. To myself. Family not invited." I press post. Within seconds, my phone explodes with notifications. The first message from my mother makes my blood run cold. I stare at my mother's text, reading it 3 times to make sure I understand correctly. There's no birthday greeting, no apology, just pure seething rage typed out in capital letters. "Stella Marie, what have you done? How could you be so selfish? That money was for your sister's wedding." My hands start shaking. Before I can process what she means, my phone lights up again. My sister Harper, then my father, then my Aunt Linda, Uncle Paul, cousin after cousin. The notifications scroll so fast I can barely read them. "Harper's calling now." Against my better judgment, I answer. "You absolute witch," she screams, not even saying hello. "My engagement party is in 3 weeks and you pull this stunt? You bought a beach house with Grandma's money? Money that was supposed to help with my wedding?" "Harper, what are you talking about?" I manage to say, but she's not listening. "Don't play dumb, Stella. We all know Grandma left you that inheritance. $15,000. Mom told me you were supposed to contribute it to my wedding fund. And instead you go and blow it all on some stupid house just to get attention on your birthday? Which isn't even a big deal. You're 32. Grow up." My mouth goes dry. The inheritance. Of course. 2 years ago, when our grandmother passed away, I was grieving and barely holding myself together. I assumed the will would be read eventually, that everything would be handled properly. Months passed. A year. No one ever mentioned an inheritance to me directly. Then one day, about 18 months ago, I was at my parents' house helping my mom sort through old photos when I saw a bank statement on the kitchen counter. It showed a deposit of $30,000 with the memo line, "Estate of Dorothy Chen, distribution to Harper Chen." I froze. Our grandmother's name was Dorothy, but her last name was Anderson, not Chen. Then I realized it was a typo or my eyes were playing tricks. I looked again. Dorothy Anderson. Distribution to Harper Anderson. $30,000. I never asked about it. I told myself maybe Grandma wanted Harper to have more because she was younger, still establishing herself. I swallowed the hurt and moved on. I never told anyone I'd seen that statement. But now they think I got $15,000? They think I had inheritance money this whole time? "Harper," I try again, my voice stronger. "I never got any inheritance from Grandma. I don't know what Mom and Dad told you, but I didn't receive anything." "Liar," she shouts. "Stop lying, Stella. You've always been jealous of me, and now you're trying to ruin my wedding because you can't stand that I'm happy." She hangs up. My phone continues to explode. I open the family group chat, the one I've been muted in for months but never left. 73 new messages. I scroll through them, my stomach twisting with each one. Aunt Linda. "Stella, this is incredibly selfish. Your sister's wedding is the most important day of her life." Uncle Paul. "Very disappointed in you. Family should come first." My cousin Rachel. "Wow, Stella. Just wow. Harper has done so much for you over the years, and this is how you repay her." What has Harper done for me? I think wildly. She's never helped me with anything, but I keep scrolling. My father's message appears. "Stella, call me immediately. We need to discuss your misuse of your grandmother's inheritance. That money was designated for family purposes." Misuse? Designated? None of this makes sense. I try calling my father, but it goes straight to voicemail. I call my mother. Same thing. They've blocked me. I sit down on the deck stairs, legs suddenly weak. The beach house behind me is beautiful. I closed on it yesterday. I've been saving for 6 years. Every extra shift at the hospital where I work as a medical billing specialist. Every weekend doing bookkeeping for small businesses. Every tax refund. Every birthday check from distant relatives. Every dollar I could scrape together. I lived in a tiny apartment, drove a 15-year-old car, packed lunches, never took vacations. 6 years of sacrifice to save $53,000 for a down payment. This house is mine, earned with my own sweat and exhaustion. And they think I stole it from my sister? My phone buzzes with a text from Monica, my best friend since elementary school. My chest loosens slightly. Finally, someone rational. But when I open it, my relief turns to ice. Stella, I can't believe you'd do this to Harper. After everything she's been through planning this wedding, you pull this attention-seeking move? I thought I knew you. We're not friends anymore. Lose my number. Monica is Harper's maid of honor. They've gotten close over the past year, but Monica was my friend first. We grew up together. She knows me. Or I thought she did. Another notification. Instagram. Someone tagged me in a comment on my beach house post. I open it, already knowing it'll be bad. Harper has commented, "Some people care more about houses than family. So sad to see my sister's true colors. Praying for her." The comment has 300 likes already. People I don't even know are replying. "Your sister sounds toxic. Family is everything. She should be ashamed. Harper, you're better off without that negativity in your life." I want to respond, to defend myself. But what would I even say? I open my banking app and screenshot my savings account history. 6 years of deposits, my paychecks, my side job payments. Everything documented. I posted as a comment reply, "This is where the money came from. My own earnings. I never received any inheritance." Within minutes, someone replies, "Screenshots can be faked." Another, "Even if it's real, you should still help your sister. That's what family does." My phone rings. Unknown number. I answer without thinking. "Stella Anderson?" A man's voice, professional and cold. "Yes? This is Jeffrey Morrison from Morrison and Associates. I'm calling on behalf of your parents, Thomas and Patricia Anderson. They've retained our services regarding a civil matter. You should expect to receive formal legal documents within the next 72 hours. We advise you to obtain legal representation." Legal documents? For what? Your parents are filing a claim alleging misappropriation of family assets and undue influence over your late grandmother. "Have a good evening." He hangs up before I can respond. I sit there as the sun sets over the ocean, watching the sky turn pink and orange. The beach house behind me represents every dream I've ever had. Independence, peace, a place that's truly mine, and my family is going to try to take it away. My phone buzzes one more time. An email this time, from a law firm. The subject line reads, "Notice of intent to file civil claim." I open it with trembling fingers. The email is brief and formal, outlining allegations that I manipulated my grandmother before her death to secure an inheritance, that I've stolen family assets, and that I've demonstrated a pattern of deceptive behavior. It's all lies. Every single word. But as I sit alone on this deck, watching the sun disappear below the horizon, I realize something terrifying. The truth doesn't matter. They've already decided I'm the villain. And they're just getting started. The next morning, I sit in the cramped office of Susan Martinez, the only lawyer in town who could see me on short notice. She's reviewing my bank statements, my employment records, the deed to the beach house. Everything I brought to prove I've done nothing wrong. "Miss Anderson," she says, finally, looking up at me over her reading glasses. "Legally, you're completely in the clear. Every dollar is accounted for. You earned this money through legitimate employment. You purchased the property legally. Your parents have no case." Relief floods through me. "So they can't take my house?" "No, they can't." She pauses. "But that doesn't mean they won't try. And the process of defending yourself, even when you're right, is expensive and emotionally draining. Civil court doesn't require proof beyond reasonable doubt. They just need to convince a judge that there's enough question to warrant further investigation. But there's no question. You just said so. I know. But your parents are filing anyway. I received their formal complaint this morning. She slides a document across the desk. They're alleging undue influence, claiming you manipulated your grandmother's final wishes. I read through the complaint, each sentence more absurd than the last. According to this document, I spent my grandmother's final months isolating her from family, pressuring her to change her will, and taking advantage of her diminished mental capacity. None of it is true. Grandma lived with my parents until the day she died. I visited her twice a week, brought her magazines and her favorite cookies, sat with her watching game shows. She was sharp as ever, making jokes and beating me at cards until the very end. The heart attack that killed her was sudden and unexpected. This will become public record, Susan warns. Once they file, anyone can access it. Your employer, your friends, future employers, if you ever apply for another job. As if on cue, my phone rings. The hospital. My boss, Karen. I need to take this, I tell Susan, stepping into the hallway. Stella. Hi. Karen's voice is strained, uncomfortable. We need you to come in today, as soon as possible. Is everything okay? We'll discuss it when you get here. An hour later, I'm sitting in HR with Karen and another woman I've never met, who introduces herself as Janet from Human Resources Corporate. Stella, we've received some concerning information, Janet says, her voice carefully neutral. A family member called our ethics hotline yesterday with allegations that you may have been involved in financial impropriety. My blood runs cold. What? They suggested that if you were willing to, quote, steal from your own grandmother, you might be embezzling from the hospital as well. That's insane. I would never. I haven't stolen anything from anyone. We're not making any accusations, Karen says quickly. But she won't meet my eyes. But we have to investigate. It's policy. We're going to need to put you on administrative leave while we conduct an internal audit of your department. Administrative leave? For how long? 2 weeks, maybe more. You'll be paid for the first week. After that, she trails off. I think of my mortgage payment, the renovation costs still to come, my car payment, insurance. I didn't do anything wrong. We hope that's true, Janet says. But we have to follow protocol. Please collect your personal items and leave your badge with security. Walking out of the hospital with my box of belongings feels like a nightmare. Colleagues I've worked with for 8 years watch me leave, whispering behind their hands. No one asks if I'm okay. No one offers support. By the time I get home to my apartment, social media has erupted again. Harper posted another update. When your own sister's issues affect her workplace, praying she gets the help she needs. The post is vague enough to seem concerned, specific enough to plant seeds. The comments are brutal. What did she do? Sounds like she's unstable. Harper, you're so gracious. I'd cut her off completely. My phone rings constantly. I stop answering. The voicemails pile up. Aunts and uncles leaving messages that sound concerned but are really just fishing for gossip. Cousins I haven't heard from in years suddenly interested in my well-being. Then Monica's mom calls. Mrs. Campbell has known me since I was 7 years old. Stella, honey, I just wanted to check on you, she says. But her voice is cool, distant. Monica told me what's been going on. I have to say, I'm disappointed. Your poor parents, having to deal with this. Mrs. Campbell, none of what they're saying is true. Well, I'm sure it's complicated. But sweetie, you have to understand how this looks. Buying an expensive beach house right before your sister's wedding? It seems calculated. I've been saving for 6 years. Still, the timing is unfortunate. You might want to think about making amends. Family is forever, you know. After she hangs up, I realize what's happening. My family isn't just attacking me. They're systematically dismantling my entire life. My reputation, my job, my friendships, everything. That evening, I force myself to eat dinner, though everything tastes like cardboard. I'm scrolling through apartment listings, thinking I might need to move somewhere cheaper, when I notice something odd. A post from Harper's fiancé, Tyler, from 3 weeks ago. He's tagged at a real estate office in Dover. The caption, research mode. Dover, where my beach house is. I dig deeper, scrolling back through Tyler's social media. 2 weeks ago, another post. Sometimes the best views are worth the wait. The location tag is for a beach, the same beach near my house. My stomach drops. I search for Harper's posts from the same time frame. Nothing obvious. But then, I find it. A comment exchange from 3 weeks ago on one of Harper's posts. A woman named Danielle. Excited to show you those listings. Harper's reply. Can't wait. Thanks for the referrals. Danielle's profile says she's a realtor. In Dover. Harper knew. She knew I was buying a beach house. Or at least, she knew someone was looking at properties in Dover, and with Tyler's posts, she must have figured it out. I screenshot everything and send it to Susan, my lawyer, with shaking hands. Then I dig further. I find a mutual friend of Monica and Harper, a girl named Ashley I went to high school with. I message her, even though we haven't talked in years. Ashley, I know this is random, but did Harper say anything to you about my beach house before I posted about it? She responds within minutes. Stella, I've been wanting to reach out. Yes. Harper told me 2 weeks ago that you were buying a beach house and acting weird about it. She said she was worried about you. Why? 2 weeks ago. Before I posted anything. Before my birthday. Did she say anything else? Just that she was planning to talk to your parents about it. She seemed really concerned. I'm sorry about everything that's happening. For what it's worth, I don't believe what everyone's saying about you. It's the first kind words I've heard in days, and they nearly break me. I call Susan immediately. They planned this. Harper knew about the house. They've been planning this attack. That's helpful information, but it's not illegal, Susan says. It shows premeditation. But premeditation to what? Cutting you out? That's their right. We need to focus on defending against their actual legal claims. But I'm not thinking about legal claims anymore. I'm thinking about 5 years of forgotten birthdays. 5 years of watching my parents throw elaborate parties for Harper, while pretending my birthday didn't exist. I always thought it was carelessness. Oversight. My birthday is in May, Harper's is in June. Maybe they just got confused. But they didn't get confused. This was deliberate. Systematic erasure, year after year, to keep me small and grateful for scraps. I text my father, knowing he's blocked me but needing to say it anyway. I know Harper found out about the house 2 weeks ago. I know you planned this. Why? I don't expect a response, but one comes through within minutes. He must have unblocked me just to reply. Stella, you've always been jealous of your sister. Everything we did to avoid your toxic jealousy from ruining her life. Now you've shown your true colors. Don't contact us again. Toxic jealousy. Is that really what they think? That every boundary I set, every moment I chose myself over their demands, was jealousy? My phone buzzes. My landlord, Mr. Peterson. Stella, we need to talk about your lease. I call him back immediately. Is something wrong? I received a call from your parents yesterday. They informed me you're under criminal investigation and might be a flight risk. That's not true. I'm not under any criminal investigation. They seemed very concerned, very credible. Look, I don't want any trouble. You've been a good tenant, but I can't have legal issues associated with this property. I'm going to need you to vacate within 30 days. Mr. Peterson, please. I can show you there's no investigation. My parents are lying. I'm sorry, Stella. I've already made my decision. 30 days. He hangs up. I stand in my apartment, this place I've lived for 4 years, and realize I'm about to lose it. The hospital investigation could take weeks. I'll lose my income. I can't afford rent without a job. The beach house isn't finished yet. The renovations are still in progress. There's no heat, No working kitchen, just bare bones and construction dust. I'm going to be homeless. The only place I can go is the house my family is trying to take from me. My phone lights up with another notification. The family group chat. Someone posted a photo from Harper's bridal shower, which apparently happened today. They're all there. My mother, my aunts, my cousins, everyone smiling, celebrating, a banner in the background. Harper's big day. I'm not in the photo. I wasn't invited. I'm not even mentioned. It's as if I never existed at all. I move what I can fit into a storage unit, donated the rest, and I'm staying on Jenna's couch. Jenna works in the hospital cafeteria. We've chatted a few times, but we're not close. She offered when she heard through the grapevine about my eviction. I'm grateful, but I can feel the awkwardness every time her boyfriend, Marcus, comes over and finds me in his living space. 2 weeks pass. The hospital completes their investigation and finds nothing wrong. Not a single missing penny. No suspicious transactions. Nothing. I'm vindicated. But I'm also fired. Karen calls me on a Tuesday afternoon. Stella, the investigation cleared you completely. You did nothing wrong, so I can come back? Well, that's the thing. Corporate decided to restructure your position. Budget cuts. We're eliminating your role entirely. Here's 2 weeks severance. We wish you the best. Restructure. Budget cuts. The words every employer uses when they want to get rid of someone without saying why. This is because of my family's accusations, isn't it? Stella, I'm not at liberty to discuss the decision-making process. I'm sorry. She doesn't sound sorry. I'm unemployed. I have 2 weeks of severance pay, then nothing. I start applying to other jobs immediately. Medical billing, office administration, anything in my field. I'm qualified. I have 8 years of experience. I should be able to find something. But every interview goes the same way. They're interested until they check my references, until they do a background search and find the public record of my parents' civil claim. Then suddenly the position is filled. They've decided to go in a different direction. They'll keep my resume on file. The Whisper campaign has destroyed me. I'm radioactive in the local medical community. My credit cards get declined at the grocery store. I call the bank, confused. My credit is good. I always pay on time. Miss Anderson, your accounts have been frozen due to reported fraudulent activity, the customer service rep explains. Fraudulent activity? I didn't report anything. According to our records, the cardholder reported these cards as stolen. I'm the cardholder. 1 moment, please. A long pause. I'm seeing that a Patricia Anderson called and reported these cards as stolen by a family member. She provided verification information, and we froze the accounts as a security measure. Patricia, my mother. That's fraud. She doesn't have access to my accounts. Ma'am, I understand you're upset, but we have to take all fraud reports seriously. You'll need to come into a branch with 2 forms of ID and fill out a dispute form. It can take 3 to 6 weeks to resolve. 3 to 6 weeks. My mortgage payment is due in 8 days. I hang up and immediately call Susan. My mother fraudulently reported my credit cards stolen. Can we use this? File a police report, she advises. If your mother committed fraud, that's a criminal matter. But Stella, are you sure you want to go there? Pressing charges against your own mother? Am I sure? I think about 5 forgotten birthdays, about being erased from family photos, about losing my job, my home, my reputation, about them trying to take the one thing I earned completely on my own. Yes, I say, I'm sure. I file the police report. The officer taking my statement looks skeptical. Your mother called your credit card company? Yes. And falsely reported my cards as stolen. And you want to press charges? Yes. He writes it down, but I can see he thinks I'm wasting his time. We'll look into it. Nothing happens. No follow-up. No investigation. It's a civil family dispute, and the police don't want to be involved. Meanwhile, Harper's wedding plans dominate every social media feed. The local newspaper runs a feature about her fairy tale romance. There's a photo of Harper and Tyler looking perfect, surrounded by our smiling family. The article mentions how our parents raised their daughters with strong values and how family means everything to the Andersons. I'm cropped out of every photo they used, digitally erased. The comments section fills with congratulations and well wishes. Someone mentions me, asking where I am. The comment gets deleted within minutes. My car breaks down. The transmission, the mechanic says. $2,000 to fix. I don't have $2,000. I don't have credit cards that work. I have $23 in my checking account and a mortgage payment due. I take the bus to Delaware to check on the beach house. The 40-minute ride gives me too much time to think. I watch the landscape change from suburban Pennsylvania to coastal Delaware, and I try to remember why I wanted this house so badly. Independence. Peace. A place where no one could make me feel small. Now it feels like a millstone around my neck. When I get to the house, I find a note on the door from the contractor. Tried to reach you. Contract canceled. Please contact office to discuss. I call immediately. This is Stella Anderson. I got your note. What do you mean the contract was canceled? Someone called 2 days ago claiming to be you and canceled the renovation contract, the project manager says. We sent a confirmation email. I never got any email. I never called. Who called? The person provided your name and the property address. They said they were Stella Anderson and wanted to cancel. Can you trace the call? What number did it come from? Let me check. A pause. It came from area code 215. That's the number we have on file as your mother's contact. My mother. Of course. She's not authorized to cancel anything. I'm the owner. Can we restart the contract? Well, there's the issue of the deposit. When we cancel a contract, we keep 20% as a cancellation fee. You'd need to provide a new deposit to restart. But I didn't cancel. This is fraud. Ma'am, I understand you're upset, but we followed protocol. Someone with knowledge of your project called and canceled. We can't know if it was really you or not. If you believe it's fraud, you'll need to handle that legally. In the meantime, if you want to restart, you'll need to pay a new deposit. I can't. I don't have the money. The house sits half-finished, exposed to the elements, unusable. I hang up and just stand there on the empty beach, staring at my dream house. It looks abandoned, sad, like me. I try to get a restraining order against my parents, but the judge denies it. This appears to be a civil family dispute, she says from the bench. The court encourages you to seek mediation, rather than restraining orders. Motion denied. Harper's wedding is 5 weeks away. My extended family is fully immersed in preparation. The group chat I'm still technically part of buzzes, constantly with discussions of flowers, seating charts, menu options. No one mentions me. When someone does accidentally tag me or reference me, the message gets quickly deleted. I'm a ghost in my own family. Jenna's boyfriend, Marcus, finally speaks up. They're in the kitchen when I come home one evening, and I can hear them talking in low voices. Babe, I know you want to help, but this is too much, Marcus says. She's been here 3 weeks. When is she leaving? She's looking for a place, Jenna defends. It's not her fault she got evicted. There's always drama with her. Her whole family against her? Come on, there has to be a reason. Marcus, that's not fair. I'm just saying, we had a good thing here. Now there's this awkward tension all the time. I can't even walk around in my own place without worrying about disturbing her. I clear my throat, and they both jump. I'll leave, I say quietly. I'll figure something out. Stella, Jenna starts, but I shake my head. No, he's right. You've been so kind, but I need to go. The next morning, I pack my things. Jenna tries to convince me to stay, but I can see the relief in her eyes when I insist. The beach house is the only option. It's not livable, but it's mine. I load my car with everything I own. The car that still needs repairs, but somehow limps along when I drive it gently. I arrive at the beach house as the sun sets. The interior is rough. Exposed walls, no insulation, concrete floors. One room has drywall up but unpainted. That's where I set up my sleeping bag. I have a camping stove for heat, a cooler for food. I wash dishes in the bathroom sink. I shower at the gym 3 miles away that I already paid for a year membership. This is my life now. Living in an unfinished house, unemployed, alone. My phone buzzes. The family group chat. Photos from Harper's bachelorette party. Everyone at a fancy restaurant dressed up, laughing. Harper wearing a sash that says bride-to-be. My mother posted a photo of Harper and her bridesmaids with the caption, "All my girls, so blessed." All her girls. 4 bridesmaids. Monica is there. Cousins. Friends. A complete bridal party. I'm not in the photo. I was never asked to be a bridesmaid. Of course I wasn't. An investigator shows up at the beach house 3 days later. He's wearing a cheap suit and carrying a folder with my name on it. "Stella Anderson?" he says, showing me a business card. "I'm David Fletcher, private investigator. I've been hired by Morrison and Associates to gather information regarding the civil claim filed by your parents. I have nothing to say to you. I understand this is difficult. I just have a few questions about your relationship with your grandmother in the months before her passing." "No, Miss Anderson. I'm trying to help resolve this matter. If you cooperate, it'll go much easier for everyone. You're not trying to help me. You're being paid to find dirt on me." The answer is no. Over the next week, I learn he's been interviewing people. Former coworkers, old friends, neighbors, anyone who might have information about me. He's asking about my mental health, my relationship history, whether I ever seemed unstable or manipulative. He's building a case, not a legal one, a character assassination. One night, sitting in my sleeping bag on the cold concrete floor, eating canned soup heated on my camping stove, I find an old box of my grandmother's things I salvaged before my parents could throw them out. Old photos, birthday cards, random mementos. At the bottom, I find a card from my 15th birthday. My grandmother's handwriting. "Stella, you've always been the strong one, the one who sees clearly. Don't let anyone dim your light. You matter just as you are. Love always, Grandma." I read it 3 times. And then I cry. Really cry. For the first time since this nightmare started, I let myself break down completely. When I'm done, when there are no more tears left, I keep digging through the box. And that's when I find it. A letter. Dated 3 months before my grandmother died. Addressed to Robert Chen, attorney at law. Never sent. I unfold it with shaking hands and read, "Dear Mr. Chen, I am writing to document my concerns regarding my estate. My son and daughter-in-law have been pressuring me to leave everything to my granddaughter Harper. They visit me daily now, always with the same conversation. They tell me Harper needs the money for her future, for a wedding, for a house. They tell me Stella is doing fine on her own and doesn't need help. But I know the truth. Stella visits me twice a week and never asks for anything. She brings me cookies and sits with me. Harper hasn't visited in 6 months. I'm too ill to fight them anymore. I'm afraid if I don't do what they want, they'll keep me from seeing Stella in my final days. So I'm changing my will as they asked. Everything goes to Harper. But I want this letter to document that this is wrong. Stella deserves better. I'm too weak to fight. But I want the truth recorded. Perhaps someday it will matter. Dorothy Anderson." The letter is dated, signed, and at the bottom, there's a notation. Witnessed by Catherine Patterson, neighbor, on October 15th, 2022. Mrs. Patterson, the elderly woman who lives next door to my parents' house. She witnessed this letter. This proves everything. It proves my parents coerced my grandmother. It proves I never manipulated anyone. It proves they've been lying all along. I clutch the letter to my chest, and for the first time in weeks, I feel something other than despair. I feel hope. The stress finally catches up with me. I'm at the storage unit, trying to dig out my winter coat because the beach house is freezing at night when the world starts spinning. I grab the metal shelf to steady myself, but my legs give out. Everything goes dark. I wake up in the emergency room with fluorescent lights blazing above me. A nurse leans over me, taking my blood pressure. "Welcome back," she says gently. "You're at Coastal Medical Center. Someone found you passed out at a storage facility and called 911. My head pounds. What happened? Looks like you collapsed. When's the last time you ate a full meal? I try to remember. Yesterday? 2 days ago? Time has blurred since I moved into the beach house. I'm not sure. A doctor comes in, reviews my chart. "Miss Anderson, your blood pressure is dangerously high. You're dehydrated and malnourished. We ran some tests. Have you been under unusual stress lately?" I almost laugh. Unusual stress. That's one way to put it. You could say that. You need to take this seriously. You're at risk for stroke or heart attack if you don't get this under control. I'm recommending therapy, medication for the blood pressure, and serious lifestyle changes. Remove yourself from toxic situations if possible. Remove myself. As if it's that simple. They discharge me with prescriptions I can't afford and advice I can't follow. The medical bill is $800. I don't have insurance anymore since I lost my job. I tell them I'll pay in installments, knowing I probably won't be able to. When I get back to the beach house, trudging from the bus stop with my prescription bag, I find Jenna sitting on the front step. "Stella, oh, thank God." She stands up, looking worried. "The storage place called me. I was your emergency contact on the rental agreement. They said you collapsed." "I'm okay." "You're not okay. Look at you." She gestures at me, and I realize I haven't looked in a mirror in days. "You're living in a construction zone. This is insane. I don't have anywhere else to go. Come back to our place." Marcus and I talked. "You can stay until you figure things out." "Jenna," I heard what he said. "I'm not putting you in that position. He's being a jerk. Forget him. You need help." "But I can't. I can't go back and be a burden. I can't keep taking from people while giving nothing back. I appreciate it, but no. I'll be fine here." She looks like she wants to argue, but she just sighs. "If you change your mind, you know where to find me." After she leaves, I sit on the floor of the empty house and sort my pills. Blood pressure medication. The bottle says to take with food. I have half a can of beans left. My phone buzzes constantly. The family group chat is in overdrive because Harper's wedding is 3 weeks away. They're discussing final fittings, rehearsal dinner plans, who's sitting where. A new message pops up from my Aunt Linda. "Can't wait to celebrate Harper and Tyler. Our family is so blessed." Someone responds, "All of us together. Best day ever. All of us. Except me. I'm not invited. Not that I'd go, but the exclusion still stings." Then my phone rings. My father. I almost don't answer, but curiosity wins. "Hello? Stella." His voice is cold, formal. "I'm standing outside your beach house. We need to talk." I look out the window. His car is in the driveway. I feel a flash of panic, then anger. He's on my property, my house. I open the door. He's on the porch, dressed in his usual business casual. He looks at the house, at me, and his expression is pure disdain. "May I come in?" I want to say no, but part of me hopes this is it. The moment he apologizes, the moment he admits they were wrong, I step aside. He enters and looks around at the bare walls, the camping stove, the sleeping bag in the corner. "You're living here like this?" "The renovations got canceled, thanks to Mom." He ignores that. "I came to bring you this." He hands me an envelope, official looking. I open it. Legal document, un eviction notice. What is this? "I co-signed your grandmother's trust. As co-trustee, I have legal claim to any assets purchased with funds from that trust. This house was purchased with inheritance money. Therefore, I have the right to claim ownership or force a sale." That's not true. I never got inheritance money. I showed my bank records to everyone. Bank records can be manipulated, Stella. Everyone knows that. Why are you doing this? What did I ever do to you? For a moment, his mask slips. You want to know why? Fine. I'll tell you. Harper is special. She's beautiful, talented, successful. She has potential. She can do great things with her life. You? He looks at me with something like pity. You're ordinary, average. You work a normal job, live a normal life. There's nothing wrong with that. But why would we invest equally in both of you? We put our resources where they'll have the most impact. That's just practical. The words hit like physical blows. You're saying I don't deserve equal treatment because I'm not special enough? I'm saying Harper needs more support. She always has. You're capable of taking care of yourself. You don't need us the way she does. Is that why you forgot my birthday? Every year? We didn't forget. We chose to prioritize Harper's events. Your birthday isn't important in the grand scheme of things. You're 32 years old, Stella. Grow up. Get out. You have 30 days to vacate this property. If you contest this eviction, we'll proceed with the full lawsuit, and we'll win. You can't afford to fight us. He walks to the door, then turns back. One more thing. We've been telling everyone that you've had mental health issues for years. Depression, personality disorders, that sort of thing. If you try to fight back, that's the narrative that will dominate. No one will believe someone who's unstable. Think about that. He leaves. I stand there, shaking with rage and heartbreak, holding eviction papers for a house I bought with my own money. Mental health issues. They're preemptively discrediting me. If I defend myself, I'm the crazy sister. If I stay quiet, I'm guilty. I call Susan, my lawyer. They served me with eviction papers. I saw. It's completely baseless, but we'll have to respond in court. Stella, this is getting serious. Your parents are escalating, and the costs are mounting. My retainer is almost depleted. I'll need another $3,000 to continue representing you. $3,000 I don't have. Can I pay in installments? I'm sorry, but our firm policy requires payment upfront for continued service. So if I can't pay, I have no lawyer? You could represent yourself. Or find legal aid. But they're usually overwhelmed, and this is a complex civil case. After I hang up, I sit in the dark house, alone, and realize I'm about to lose everything. My family has more resources, more credibility, more support. They're systematically destroying me, and I can't fight back. My phone buzzes. A text from a number I don't recognize. Stella, this is your cousin Derek. I live in Seattle now. I heard what's happening through the family grapevine. Can we talk? Derek. I haven't seen him in 15 years. He left for college when I was in high school and never came back. There were always vague explanations about him being busy, living far away. Family reunions happened without him. I call the number. He answers on the first ring. Stella. Thank God you called. Derek? Why are you reaching out now? Because I know what they're doing to you. They did the same thing to me. What do you mean? 15 years ago, I was 23. I just graduated college and was starting my first job. Your parents, my aunt and uncle, decided I was a bad influence on Harper. She was 8 at the time and I'd been babysitting her. I taught her it was okay to question authority, to think for herself. They didn't like that. What happened? They started a rumor that I'd stolen money from my own parents, turned the whole family against me, made me out to be a thief and a liar. It got so bad I couldn't come home for holidays. Eventually, I just stopped trying. I moved to Seattle and built a new life. Why didn't you fight back? I tried, but they're good at this, Stella. They know exactly how to manipulate narratives. I didn't have proof. I didn't have resources. I was a broke recent graduate. So I walked away. I can't walk away. They're trying to take my house. I know. That's why I'm calling. I kept evidence. All the emails, texts, everything from 15 years ago. It shows a pattern. They've done this before. If we present it together, it proves they have a history of targeting family members who don't fall in line. Would you testify? I'll do better than that. I'll fly out there. We'll fight them together. For the first time in weeks, I don't feel completely alone. That night, I'm woken by flashing lights outside. Red and blue. I stumble to the door, confused and groggy. 2 police officers stand on my porch. "Ma'am, we received a report of a squatter in this residence," one says. "I'm not a squatter. I own this house. Do you have documentation?" I show them my deed, my ID, everything. They verify it all, looking embarrassed. "Sorry to bother you." False alarm. "Who called it in?" Anonymous tip. Said there was a homeless person breaking in. After they leave, I check the time. 2 in the morning. I call the police station's non-emergency line. "Can you tell me what number the tip came from?" They won't give me specifics, but they confirm it was a local landline, my parents' area code. They called the police on me, at my own house. They're trying to make me look unstable, dangerous, criminal. I crawl back into my sleeping bag, but I can't sleep. I lie awake, staring at the ceiling, and realize my father was right about one thing. I can't afford to fight them. But maybe I don't need money. Maybe I just need the truth. I pull out my grandmother's letter and read it again in the dim light from my phone. This letter changes everything. It proves their manipulation. It proves I was the one pushed out. But one letter isn't enough. I need more. I need to find Mrs. Patterson, the witness. I need to get her testimony. I need to build a case so airtight they can't dismiss it as the ravings of an unstable person. I pick up my phone and start making a plan. Not a legal plan. A truth plan. If they want to paint me as crazy, fine. But I'm going to make sure everyone knows exactly what kind of people they really are. Mrs. Catherine Patterson lives 2 doors down from my parents in the same house she's occupied for 40 years. I knock on her door on a cold Wednesday morning, hoping she'll remember me. She opens the door, a tiny woman with white hair and sharp blue eyes. "Stella Anderson," she says immediately. "I wondered when you'd come. You know who I am?" "Of course I do. I watched you grow up. Come in, dear. It's cold." Her house smells like lavender and old books. She sits me down in her living room and brings tea, without asking if I want any. "You found the letter," she says. "It's not a question. How did you know?" "Because you're here. Your grandmother gave me a copy before she died. She said if anything ever happened, if her family ever tried to claim she didn't know her own mind, I should speak up. Would you testify? Would you tell people what you witnessed?" "I've been waiting for someone to ask me for 2 years. She reaches into a drawer and pulls out a folder. "I have my own documentation, dates, times, what I witnessed. Your parents visiting her daily, staying for hours, your grandmother crying after they left. I have it all. Why didn't you come forward before? Who was I going to tell? Your parents are respected in the community. I'm just an old woman. But if you're fighting back, I'll stand with you." We spend 2 hours going through her documentation. She has detailed notes about my grandmother's final months. The pressure, the tears, the way my parents isolated her from other family members. "Your grandmother loved you very much," Mrs. Patterson says. "She talked about you constantly, how proud she was of your work ethic, your independence. She knew what they were doing, keeping you small so Harper could shine brighter. It broke her heart." I leave her house with a folder full of evidence and a witness willing to testify. It's not enough to win in court yet, but it's a start. Derek flies in the next day. I meet him at the airport, and he looks so different from the young man I remember. He's 38 now, confident, successful. He hugs me hard. "You look terrible," he says bluntly. "Thanks. I mean it. When's the last time you ate?" He takes me to dinner. Real food. He pays. I almost cry when the food arrives because I haven't had a proper meal in weeks. "Tell me everything," he says. I do. All of it. He listens, his expression growing darker. It's the same playbook, he says when I'm done. Isolate the target, control the narrative, destroy their credibility, turn everyone against them. I remember it so clearly. Why Harper? Why does she get to be the golden child? Because she's controllable. You're not. I wasn't. We asked questions, set boundaries, had our own opinions. Harper does what they want. She's the perfect reflection of them. That's what they value. He pulls out his phone and shows me his evidence. Emails from 15 years ago. Text messages. A letter from my Aunt Patricia, his mother, disowning him over the alleged theft. This proves they have a pattern, he says. This isn't a one-time thing. This is who they are. We spend the evening organizing everything. My grandmother's letter, Mrs. Patterson's testimony, Derek's evidence, my bank records proving every dollar I earned, the timeline of forgotten birthdays, the proof that Harper knew about the house before I posted about it. We build a complete picture of systematic abuse and manipulation. What now? I ask. Now we go nuclear. We expose them completely, but we have to be strategic. If we release this information piecemeal, they'll spin each piece. We need to drop it all at once. Overwhelming evidence that can't be dismissed. My lawyer, Susan, reviews everything the next day. This is strong, really strong. We can definitely win the civil case with this. But Stella, if you go public with this, you'll burn every bridge with your family, permanently. They already burned them. I'm just documenting the fire. Fair enough. When do you want to do this? I think about Harper's wedding. 2 weeks away. The whole town is excited. It's the social event of the season. If I release this information now, I'll destroy her wedding. Every guest will know the truth about our family. The perfect Anderson family image will shatter. Can I do that? Am I willing to hurt Harper to save myself? I don't know. I admit. That night, I lie in my sleeping bag, staring at my phone. The family group chat is active. They're discussing final wedding details. My mother posted a photo of the rehearsal dinner menu. Everyone's commenting about how beautiful everything will be. Someone mentions me. My cousin Rachel. Too bad Stella can't be here to see this. My mother's response. Some people make choices that separate them from family. We have to respect that. As if I chose this. As if I walked away. I'm about to put my phone down when it rings. Harper. I stare at her name on the screen, my finger hovering over decline. I answer. Stella? Her voice is strange, tight. She's been crying. What do you want, Harper? I need to see you. Can I come to the beach house? Why? Please. I'll explain when I get there. She hangs up before I can respond. 40 minutes later, headlights sweep across the windows. Harper parks and gets out slowly. She's wearing yoga pants and an oversized sweatshirt. No makeup. She looks young, vulnerable. I open the door. She steps inside and looks around at my living conditions. The sleeping bag, the camping stove, the bare walls. Oh my God, Stella, what do you want? She turns to me, and there are tears streaming down her face. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. I cross my arms. For what? Specifically, for all of it. The birthdays. The inheritance. Turning everyone against you. I knew, Stella. I've always known. Known what? That they forgot your birthday on purpose. That they gave me all of Grandma's inheritance and told me you got half. That they've been favoring me our whole lives. I knew, and I liked it. I liked being special. I liked being the favorite. And I let them destroy you because it was easier than standing up for you. She sinks down onto the floor, sobbing. When you posted about the beach house, Mom called me immediately. She said we needed to turn everyone against you before you could ruin my wedding. She had it all planned out. The story about the inheritance, the social media campaign, everything. And I went along with it because I was scared. Scared they'd turn on me if I didn't cooperate. I should feel vindicated. I should feel satisfied that she's finally admitting the truth. Instead, I just feel tired. Why are you telling me this now? Because I found something. She pulls out her phone and shows me a text conversation between our mother and our Aunt Linda. I read through it, my stomach turning. The messages are from 3 weeks ago, before I even posted about the house. They're discussing how to handle the Stella situation when I inevitably caused problems with my beach house purchase. They had the whole plan ready. They've been planning this for weeks, Harper says. They knew you were buying the house because Tyler saw you at a showing. He mentioned it to me. I mentioned it to Mom, and she immediately started plotting how to turn it against you. So you all knew, and nobody warned me. I know. I'm a coward. I'm weak. I let them manipulate me. She looks up at me, but I can't do it anymore, Stella. I got engaged because Tyler proposed, but I don't even know if I want this wedding. Mom planned everything. She picked the venue, the colors, the menu. It's her wedding, not mine. And I'm drowning. What are you saying? I'm saying our parents are control freaks, who destroy anyone who doesn't fall in line. You stood up to them and they tried to ruin you. I fell in line and I'm miserable. Neither of us can win. I sit down next to her on the cold floor. What about Tyler? Does he know any of this? Some. Not all. He thinks our family is just really close-knit, and you're the black sheep who caused drama. Mom's been filling his head with stories about how difficult you've always been. Are you going to tell him the truth? She's quiet for a long time. I don't know. I'm scared he'll leave me if he knows how messed up our family really is. Who wants to marry into this? Harper, if he loves you, he'll want the truth. Will he? Or will he decide I'm too much trouble? She wipes her eyes. The wedding is in 2 weeks. Everyone's excited. The whole town is coming. If I cancel now or tell the truth, everyone will know our family is a disaster. Mom and Dad will never forgive me. They'll never forgive you for choosing truth over their image? Exactly. We sit there in silence. 2 sisters, both damaged by the same parents, both trying to figure out how to survive. What are you going to do about the house? Harper asks. Derek and I have evidence. We're going to fight them legally. But I was also considering going public, exposing everything right before your wedding. She flinches but doesn't argue. I deserve that. Do you? Or does Tyler deserve his wedding day ruined? Do your bridesmaids? The guests who have nothing to do with any of this? Stella, if you have evidence, you should use it. Don't wait because of me. I don't deserve your protection. This isn't about what you deserve. It's about who I want to be. Harper stands up slowly. I have to go. Tyler will wonder where I am. But, Stella, whatever you decide to do, I won't fight you. And if you do expose everything at the wedding, I'll back you up. I'll tell everyone you're telling the truth. I owe you that much. After she leaves, I call Derek. Harper just confessed everything. I tell him. Did you record it? No. But she says she'll testify if we need her. Do you believe her? I don't know. She's been lying for so long. How can I trust her now? You probably can't. But it's a start. The next morning, I wake up to the sound of construction. I look outside and see Derek in the driveway with a contractor. What are you doing? I call out. Getting your house finished. I hired a crew. They start today. Derek, I can't afford this. I can. Consider it payback for what our family put both of us through. This house is yours. You earned it. Let's make it livable. The crew works for a week. They finish the drywall, install the kitchen, get the heat working. It's still basic, but it's a home. Derek refuses to let me pay him back. Family should support each other. Real family. This is what that looks like. Harper's wedding is 1 week away. I have all the evidence ready. Derek and I have prepared a complete timeline with documentation. We could release it all today. By tomorrow, everyone would know the truth. I sit on my newly finished deck, watching the ocean, trying to decide. My phone buzzes. Harper. Mom just asked me who I love more, her or Tyler. She said if I really loved family, I'd postpone the honeymoon to help her with some charity event. Stella, I can't do this anymore. What are you going to do? I'm going to tell the truth. At the wedding. During my speech. I'm going to tell everyone what really happened. With you, with the inheritance, with everything. Harper, think about this. You'll lose them. I already lost myself. Maybe it's time to find her again. She hangs up. I look at Derek, who's been listening. She's going to do it, I say. Do you believe her? I think I do. The week before Harper's wedding passes, in a strange calm, Derek and I finalize every piece of evidence, organizing it into a comprehensive document that tells the complete story. We have witness statements from Mrs. Patterson, Derek's evidence from 15 years ago, my financial records, the timeline of events, my grandmother's letter. We make copies of everything and give them to Susan, my lawyer. If we need to use this in court, we're ready, she says. But if Harper testifies at the wedding like she promised, this becomes a public matter. The court of public opinion will decide first. I know. Are you prepared for that? For everyone in town to know your family's secrets? They already think they know. They think I'm the villain. At least this way, they'll know the truth. Derek has been staying at a hotel, but spending his days at the beach house with me. We've grown close again, rebuilding a relationship that was stolen from us years ago. When this is over, you should come visit Seattle, he says. Start fresh. Get away from all this. Maybe. But I also don't want them to chase me away like they did you. You're stronger than I was. You're fighting back. Mrs. Patterson comes by with a casserole. You need proper food, she says firmly. I've been watching you through this whole ordeal. You remind me so much of your grandmother. She would be proud of you. Would she? I'm about to destroy her son's reputation. She'd say you're telling the truth. That's what she wanted. She was tired of living under their control too. She just didn't have the strength to fight at the end. The night before the wedding, I can't sleep. I keep thinking about Harper, wondering if she'll actually go through with it. She's been controlled by our parents her entire life. Can she really break free now? My phone buzzes at 2 a.m. Harper, I can't sleep. Me neither. Are you having second thoughts? She asks. About what? About letting me do this instead of you. You could release everything yourself. You don't have to trust me. Harper, why are you doing this? Really? She's quiet for a long time. Because Tyler asked me yesterday what your favorite color is, and I didn't know. My own sister. We've lived together for most of our lives, and I don't know your favorite color. I don't know your favorite food, your favorite movie, what you wanted to be when you grew up. I know nothing about you, because I never bothered to look past what Mom and Dad told me. It's blue, my favorite color. What shade? Ocean blue. Like the water at sunset. I never knew that. She sounds like she's crying. I should know that. Tomorrow, when I stand up at my wedding, I'm going to tell everyone that I have a sister named Stella, whose favorite color is ocean blue, and she bought a beach house with ocean views because she earned every penny through hard work and sacrifice, and our parents tried to destroy her for it. Harper, Mom and Dad will be at the wedding. They'll try to stop you. Let them try. The wedding day dawns clear and beautiful. I don't attend, but Derek does. He called in a favor with a distant cousin and got himself added to the guest list at the last minute. He's wearing a hidden microphone and will record everything. I stay at the beach house, pacing, waiting for updates. Derek texts me periodically. Ceremony starting. Harper looks scared. Vows completed. She kept looking at your parents during it. Reception started. Food is good at least. Then nothing for an hour. I stare at my phone, anxiety building. Finally, my phone rings. Derek, calling not texting. She's about to do it, he whispers. She just stood up to give her speech. Put me on speaker so I can hear. I can't. I'm recording. But I'll tell you everything. I hear ambient noise in the background. Music fading. Someone tapping a microphone. Then Harper's voice. Distant, but audible. Thank you all for coming to celebrate with Tyler and me today. Standard opening. Polite. Expected. Before we continue, I need to tell you all something important. something true. The background noise quiets. I can picture the room, everyone listening. Many of you know my sister, Stella. She's not here today, and I need to explain why. Derek breathes into the phone. Your mom just stood up. Your dad is trying to pull Harper away from the microphone. Harper, don't. I hear my mother's voice, faint but sharp. No, Mom. I'm done lying. Harper's voice is stronger now. Stella didn't do anything wrong. She bought a beach house with money she earned herself over 6 years. Our parents lied about an inheritance to turn everyone against her. They forgot her birthday on purpose for 5 years. They manipulated our grandmother into leaving everything to me. They destroyed Stella's reputation, her job, her friendships, all because she dared to succeed without their permission. Someone cut the microphone. My father's voice. Tyler, please. Harper's voice, pleading. I hear movement. Confused mutters from guests. Everyone, listen. That's Tyler. His voice is loud, clear. My wife is trying to tell you something important. Let her speak. My wife. He called her his wife. He's supporting her. The background noise settles. Harper continues. I participated in hurting my sister because I was scared. Scared of losing my place as the favorite. Scared of our parents' approval being taken away. But I can't start this marriage with lies. I won't. Stella earned everything she has. She deserves to be celebrated, not attacked. And if my parents can't accept that, then, her voice breaks. Then I guess I'm choosing truth over their approval. Silence on the recording. Then someone starts clapping. Slowly at first, then others join in. That's Mrs. Patterson, Derek whispers to me. She's standing up. Other people are clapping now. What about my parents? They're leaving. Your dad is literally dragging your mom out. They look furious. What about Harper? She's crying. Tyler has his arm around her. People are coming up to her, hugging her. I sit down on my deck steps, phone pressed to my ear, and I start crying too. The call continues for another hour. Derek describes the aftermath, how the guests split into groups, some following my parents out in solidarity, but most staying. How cousin after cousin approached Harper, admitting they'd always thought something was wrong with how our parents treated me. How Mrs. Patterson gave a speech of her own, confirming everything Harper said and adding details about my grandmother's final months. It's going viral, Derek says. Someone posted Harper's speech on social media. It already has 50,000 views. By evening, the video has hundreds of thousands of views. Comments pour in. This is what real courage looks like. Good for Harper for telling the truth. The parents are the real villains here. Where is Stella? Someone check on her. Messages flood my phone. Apologies from former friends. Extended family members claiming they always knew something was off. Monica, my former best friend, sends a long text explaining how Harper manipulated her and begging for forgiveness. The hospital HR department calls. We'd like to discuss bringing you back to your position, with back pay and a formal apology. The local newspaper wants an interview. The police call about the fraud reports against my parents. A lawyer from my parents' firm calls to say they're withdrawing all claims against me. Everything shifts. The narrative completely flips. Over the next week, the consequences unfold. My parents become social pariahs. Their friends distance themselves. Their church asks them to step down from leadership positions. Their neighbors, who witnessed years of their behavior, start speaking up with their own stories. Harper and Tyler postpone their honeymoon. Instead, they come to the beach house. I meant what I said, Harper tells me. I'm done with their control, but I'm also done with my own cowardice. I want to rebuild our relationship, if you'll let me. It won't be easy. I know, but you're my sister, my actual sister, not the version of me Mom and Dad created. I want to know you. Your favorite color, your favorite food, all of it. Tyler shakes my hand. I'm sorry I believed their version of events. Harper told me everything. Your parents tried to tell me you were unstable. I should have questioned that more. You didn't know. No, but I should have been more skeptical. I work in mental health. I know how family dynamics can be weaponized. I just didn't see it happening in my own life. Derek flies back to Seattle but promises to visit regularly. "You're not alone anymore," he says at the airport. "You have people who actually care about you. Use that support." Mrs. Patterson becomes a regular presence in my life. She brings me food, shares stories about my grandmother, and treats me like the granddaughter she never had. The beach house becomes a real home. I paint the walls ocean blue. I furnish it simply but comfortably. I start a blog about family scapegoating and narcissistic family systems. Within weeks, thousands of people are reading it, sharing their own stories, finding community and support. People start reaching out, asking if I'd consider turning the beach house into a retreat space for others recovering from family trauma. I think about it. I have the space. I have the experience. Maybe I can help others the way Mrs. Patterson and Derek helped me. My parents try to reach out, first through family members, then directly. They want to reconcile, they say. They want to move past this unfortunate situation. They never apologize. They never admit they were wrong. They just want things to go back to how they were, with me silent and compliant. I don't respond. Monica tries multiple times to reconnect. She sends long messages explaining how Harper manipulated her, how she didn't know the full story. I respond once. "I appreciate the apology, but some bridges can't be rebuilt. I wish you well, but we're not friends anymore." She doesn't try again. 1 year later, I stand on my deck watching the sunset paint the ocean in shades of pink and gold. Today is my 33rd birthday, and this time, I'm not alone. Derek flew in from Seattle with his partner, Marcus, who I've gotten to know through video calls. Mrs. Patterson is here, bustling around my kitchen making her famous lemon cake. Harper and Tyler arrived this morning with flowers and a card they made together. There's a birthday banner hanging in my living room. Balloons, presents on the table. But more importantly, there's laughter, conversation, people who actually care about me, not the version of me they want me to be. Harper helps me set the table. We've been rebuilding our relationship slowly. Weekly phone calls, monthly visits, therapy sessions, both individual and together, to work through decades of dysfunction. It's not perfect. Some days are hard. Old patterns emerge, and we have to consciously break them. But we're trying, really trying. "I still can't believe this is the same house from a year ago," Harper says, looking around at the comfortable, lived-in space. "You've made it beautiful. It's home now. Real home. I'm proud of you." She says it simply, but I know she means it. Tyler brings out his guitar. He's been taking lessons and insists on playing Happy Birthday, even though he's still learning. It's off-key and wonderful. We eat cake and tell stories. Derek shares memories of our childhood, the good parts before everything got complicated. Mrs. Patterson talks about my grandmother, keeping her memory alive. As the evening winds down and everyone's getting ready to leave, Harper pulls me aside. "Mom called me yesterday," she says quietly. My stomach tenses. What did she want? To know if I'd talk to you, if we'd reconciled. She wanted me to ask if you'd be willing to meet with them. What did you tell her? I said, "That's between you and Stella, and I'm not playing messenger anymore." Then I hung up. She looks at me carefully. "But I'm curious. Would you meet with them?" I think about it. A year ago, I might have said yes. A year ago, I was still hoping for an apology, for acknowledgement, for them to finally see me. Now I know better. "No," I say firmly. They've never apologized. They've never taken responsibility. Meeting with them would just be another attempt to manipulate me into forgiving them without them changing anything. I'm done giving them opportunities to hurt me. I understand. For what it's worth, I think that's healthy. After everyone leaves, I sit on my deck with a cup of tea, watching the stars come out. My phone buzzes. A message in a new group chat. It's not the old family group chat. That one died a natural death after the wedding. This is a new one. Chosen family. Just Derek, Harper, Tyler, Mrs. Patterson, and me, Derek. Happy birthday again, cousin. Proud of you. Mrs. Patterson. Sweet dreams, dear girl. Your grandmother would be so happy to see you thriving. Harper. Thank you for letting me be part of your life again. I don't take it for granted. Tyler. Looking forward to next year's celebration. I'll actually know the chords by then. I smile and type back, thank you all. This was the best birthday I've ever had. And it's true. Because I'm not waiting for people who won't show up. I'm not making myself small so others can feel big. I'm not earning love through sacrifice and silence. I'm just being myself. And for the first time in my life, that's enough. I've turned the beach house into something bigger than I originally planned. 3 times a year, I host weekend retreats for people recovering from family trauma and estrangement. We share stories, support each other, and practice setting boundaries. We learn that it's okay to choose yourself. That family isn't always blood. That you can build a life worth living even when the people who were supposed to love you couldn't. The blog has become a resource hub with thousands of regular readers. I've connected with therapists, researchers, and advocates working in family estrangement and recovery. I'm writing a book about my experience. It's not about revenge or even justice. It's about survival. About finding yourself after years of being told you don't matter. My career has evolved too. I'm doing medical billing consulting from home now, working with multiple practices remotely. I make more money than I did at the hospital, and I have flexibility to do the retreat work I'm passionate about. I even adopted a dog, a rescue named Bailey who was found abandoned, just like I felt. We understand each other. She follows me everywhere, loyal and loving, in a way that asks for nothing but presence. Some people might look at my life and see loneliness. No parents, limited family, no traditional support system. But when I look at my life, I see freedom. I see authenticity. I see people who choose to be here, not people who feel obligated. I see love that's real, not love that's conditional. My parents tried to destroy me because I wouldn't stay small. They forgot my birthdays because they wanted me to forget I mattered. But I remembered. And in remembering, I rebuilt everything they tried to tear down. On this deck, in this house I earned through my own hard work, I finally understand what my grandmother meant in that birthday card from my 15th birthday. Don't let anyone dim your light. You matter just as you are. I spent 32 years trying to earn love from people who were never going to give it. I thought if I was good enough, small enough, undemanding enough, they'd finally see me. But the truth is, some people don't want to see you. They want you invisible, so they can shine brighter. The most radical thing I ever did was take up space. Buy that house, refuse to shrink, post that photo with the caption that changed everything. Birthday present, to myself, family not invited. It wasn't revenge. It was self-preservation. It was choosing myself when no one else would. The family you're born into isn't always the family you need. Sometimes you have to build your own. And that's not just okay. That's beautiful. That's survival. That's strength. I don't have the family I wanted, but I have something better. I have the family I chose, and they chose me back. Not because they have to, not because of blood or obligation, but because they want to. Because they see me, really see me, and they like what they see. That's worth everything. That's worth 5 forgotten birthdays and a year of hell. That's worth losing people who were never really there in the first place. As I finish my tea and head inside, Bailey at my heels, I feel something I haven't felt in years, maybe ever. Peace. Not the kind of peace that comes from avoiding conflict or making myself small. The kind of peace that comes from knowing who you are and refusing to apologize for it. The kind of peace that comes from building a life on your own terms, with people who celebrate you instead of erasing you. The kind of peace that comes from choosing yourself, finally, after years of choosing everyone else first. My phone buzzes one last time. My mother. The message preview shows, "Stella, I think we should talk." It's been a year. Surely we can move past this. I read it, smile slightly, and delete it without responding. I don't need closure from them anymore. I don't need apologies or explanations or acknowledgement. I already have everything I need. I have a home I built myself. I have work I'm proud of. I have people who love me for exactly who I am. I have a dog who thinks I'm the center of the universe. I have peace. And on my birthday, for the first time in 6 years, I have a celebration. Cake and candles and people singing off-key and meaning every word. That's enough. That's more than enough. That's everything. So if you're out there listening to this story, wondering if you're the problem, wondering if you should try harder to earn love from people who keep withholding it, let me tell you what I learned. You can't earn love that was never available. You can't fix relationships with people who don't want to change. You can't make yourself small enough to fit into spaces that were never meant for you. But you can choose yourself. You can build new families. You can create the life you deserve. And when you finally stop waiting for people who will never show up, you'll find that the people who matter already have. Happy birthday to me, and to everyone out there who's ever felt erased, forgotten, or invisible. You matter. You always did. The right people will see it. And until then, see it yourself. That's enough to start building something beautiful. Now I want to hear from you. Have you ever felt invisible in your own family? Have you had to choose between keeping the peace and choosing yourself? What would you do if you were in my position? Leave your thoughts in the comments below. Your story matters, and there's a whole community here ready to support you. If this story resonated with you, please hit that like button and subscribe to hear more stories about resilience, recovery, and finding yourself after loss. Share this video with anyone who needs to hear that they're not alone in their struggle. Thank you for listening to my story, for witnessing my journey, for being part of this community where we choose truth over comfortable lies. May you always have the courage to choose yourself. May you build families that celebrate you. And may you never forget that you matter, exactly as you are. Until next time, take care of yourselves. You deserve it.